We are just 2 games left before we hit to the national championship. It's Ohio State versus Fresno State. It's the CFT National Semifinals live on BVG Studios. I am the other guy alongside my broadcast partner, the one and only Brownsville Gamer.
And thank you all for joining us as we now look at the final 4 teams competing for a national title. For one team, it's going to be an opportunity for the first time in program history, a CFT National Championship appearance. And let's make it very clear. It's 2 teams, one of which you would assume a perennial favorite versus another team that has fought every single battle to get to the Cotton Bowl. It's Fresno State playing as the away team against Ohio State playing as the home team here in the Cotton Bowl in Texas. We're going to get started as right now it's going to be Ohio State receiving the ball, and they're going to go for a touchback, symboling that they're going to start at the 25-yard line. And let's look at the wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith, a 99 on spectacular catches alone. Between that and his speed, he's going to be one of the big favorites to be the MVP of today's game if Ohio State can get it done. But right now,
they're running for his life.
Fan is having an issue right now. And as a result, it was Jax, number 97, that was able to take down the quarterback for a loss of 13. What a strong way to start off this game for Fresno State.
You talked about Fresno State earlier beforehand. You talked about can their defense step up, and they stepped up in a big way.
It is a very great stop for Fresno State. And now for Ohio State, for the Buckeyes, they're going to have to do some work making it up. And right there is a gain of 4, putting it at 3rd and 19. Sane's going to have to do something very big on this play. Steps in.
Oh, he didn't get the
ball out before he was sacked. So now they're going to have to turn it back to Fresno State. Speaking of Fresno State, this is a moment that this program has never thought they'll be in, but I'm going to be honest with you. I think that this is a program that has demonstrated that they can go toe-to-toe against the nation's best. Speaking of the nation's best, let's look at E.J. Warner. E.J. Warner has consistently been able to handle various dynamic defensive packages. I mean, when it comes down to man coverage, he can be able to hold his own and that offensive line. And with Fresno State, I guess my question that I need to ask you here is, will it end here, or do we see Fresno State potentially becoming a national finalist?
Well, it all depends on how they play today and how Ohio State plays them. I think if Fresno State continues doing what they've been doing this entire tournament and just running down these teams' throats, I think they got a chance.
I mean, with that said, what do you think is going to be the big
Oh,
factor?
my goodness.
And that's going to be a key stop.
What a play by Gillian.
Down. But what do you think it's going to take for Fresno State to try to present a potential upset against Ohio State?
I think they got to just keep doing what they've been doing, running it down these people's throat as they're doing here.
Look again at number 33.
Gillian, one half of running back this has been Fresno State's MO throughout this entire tournament. Run, run, run. And as long as they keep doing that, if you can't stop it, we're going to keep doing it. As you can see here,
and
as they get in.
As the Bulldogs make it in for a touchdown plus an extra point. It was an 8-play drive. And just like that, they already have 7 points. And now it goes back to Ohio State. They're going to have to try to make it up with less than 90 seconds to go in the first quarter as they play off of the 15. Gets it to number 20, the halfback, doesn't gain anything. That was actually a loss of 1. It's now 2nd and 11. Man in motion.
So they do here.
Trying to force an offside, but didn't work out. Quarterback passes it, gets it to number 86. And that's going to be a first down with about less than 20 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Ohio State trying to put something together.
Gets it to number 25. Doesn't make much. It's just a gain of 3. This will be the last play of the quarter if they can get the snap out. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen. The first quarter belongs to Fresno State as they are up 7-0.
What do you think about Fresno State striking blood first already?
I mean, if you're going to try to beat one of the best teams of the tournament, that is exactly how you have to have it done. I mean, they've had nearly equal amount of time with the ball in the first quarter, but it was Fresno State's running game that was able to capitalize and get the early points.
That is true. Ohio State now 2nd and 7. What's they're going to do here?
And for Ohio State, I mean, my question to you here
Oh,
is,
they get the ball out.
can Ohio State control the tempo of the game? Like, can Ohio State, we're not seeing them on defense, but
Oh,
what's
my
gonna happen
goodness.
to a team like Ohio State that's being dominated by Fresno State's defense so far?
Number 19 got the sack again, and they lost a few. I think the problem is that their own line is not protecting Sayin, and I think that's going to come back to bite them. I mean, they already got sacked. This is his second sack already.
And now they're at the 41, dishes it out,
Oh,
gets to
man.
number 20, and that's going to be a first down, possibly a gain of 25. And right now they're at the 36-yard line. Play action, gets it, and holds him down, but does not get a completed pass. That's going to be 2nd and 10. Passes it over to the wide receiver, number 25. He's going to try to make the distance. He does, and that's a Buckeyes touchdown.
And the game is tied. We have a new game now as they strike blood, and now the game is tied 7-7.
And Ohio State.
Oh!
I think that might have been roughing the kicker.
They might assess that to the kickoff. I think they're just going to accept the penalty.
They will accept the penalty, and that's going to be not advantageous for Fresno State. They're going to have to work pretty far with a loss of yards from the kickoff. And now goes back to Fresno State.
Well, not really. It looks like it's going to be a
They'll kneel
touchback.
it for a touchback. They'll play at the 25. And now, waiting for the play clock, gets it out to the running back.
And Donaldson
will get that 10 and more for a first down.
look like a gain of 15.
Gets it back to Donaldson. Goes right up the middle.
And Donaldson's
he's
gone!
Going.
He is
from the
gone!
30, the 20, the 10, and the 5. That's a touchdown for the Bulldogs.
Wow, Donaldson showing why he is one half. I want it back to you. And he goes big. Once again, scores. And Fresno State is back up, about to be 14-7.
I mean, this is looking like a seesaw battle, but the advantage goes to the Bulldogs. Look at Donaldson, the halfback. I mean, nobody
Found
was
the
able
hole.
to stop him. And
that
hole.
block
was sensational. Was enough to open up the running game for Donaldson, and he took advantage of it for the 6. With the extra point, with a 2-play, 75-yard drive for only 23 seconds, Fresno State is now up by 7 as we move with less than 3 minutes to go in the first half.
What a way. I mean, they strike blood.
Can Ohio State contain Donaldson and Gilliam? Right now, the answer is no.
Well, we're going to see. They're on their second drive right now. It's not looking good, but any team that can get back that will be Ohio State. And oh, boy!
And the ball gets
out.
loose.
But Ohio State,
they're able to get it back.
But they lost a lot.
Of 8 yards, to be exact. Playing off the 1, was able to make it up by number 86, the wide receiver. He's going to be able to make that deficit up, and now they're at the 29.
2-minute warning already.
And now Warner passes it to number 25. He's going to possibly get to that first down, but it was short by 3 yards, making it now 2nd and 3.
They say they're going to do that. They're going in no hurry.
This is the type of Fresno State they like to do this. They love to go fast tempo, no huddle. Warner steps back,
Ball's out,
but
ball's
the ball
out.
is loose, and now
the big man rumbling, stumbling, cumbling all
and
over.
Fresno State recovers it for a touchdown.
Number 91, the lineman, took it back for a pick 6. Unbelievable.
And all this time I kept saying Warner when I meant to say Sam, but you know what? Maybe it's because we just wanted to see Warner back on the field.
And Ohio State fans are stunned. They can't believe Sayin gave up the ball, and the lineman with the smarts to pick up the ball before hitting the ground.
That's just good football IQ. I mean, he knew where he was. Positionally, he was able to take advantage with his awareness to get to the ball and make it up for 6.
And the big man just, I don't know how no one was able to take him down, but what a play. He's going to remember that for the rest of his life.
We've often throughout this tournament wondered, what's up with Fresno State's defense? Well, we're seeing it tonight as they're doing a stellar job against Ohio State. Right here, it's going to be a loss of 2. And for the Buckeyes, I mean, they got to have a response here. This is not something we expect to see in the first half.
Oh, my God, he gets sacked
And that's
again.
another sack. Make it sack number 5 for Fresno State.
Can you believe we're
Foreman
seeing this?
is just showing America, like, look, I am just as good as these Big Ten teams. And they are shutting down Ohio State.
And Sam looks pissed off. He's looking at his line like, what the hell you guys are doing?
Foreman, the linebacker, I mean, this guy has been shutting down Ohio State for the entire half thus far. With 5 seconds to go off the play clock, he's bearing it down, gets the snap out, and saying,
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be
but
big.
it was not an advantage. That becomes another touchdown for Fresno State. The defense alone has managed to pull up 12 points, 12 in the past 3 minutes. It's now 28-7, Fresno State. Ohio State, I'm going to have to say it, you're getting exposed right now.
This is weird. And we're not even at halftime.
We're not even at halftime.
And the defense gave up 14 points.
If you are a Bulldogs fan, I'm not trying to say you should start celebrating. I'm not saying you need to start spreading the news. But I mean, if you are a Bulldogs fan, you have a reason to be excited right now.
The defense alone gave up 14 unanswered points on back-to-back drives. What the hell?
12 coming off of the defense, 2 off of the extra points. But this is just not the half that Ohio State was expecting. And he finally gets the ball out. Number one, doesn't get much as the quarter is over. And that's it right now as we go into the halftime. It is Ohio State that is trailing the Bulldogs 28-7. And right now our highlight goes to this guy right here, Donaldson. We've been talking about him all tournament long. 87 yards with 5 attempts, averaging 17 yards, and he has already 1 touchdown so far in the game, which really makes it very clear. The reason why Fresno State is ahead is not really even the offense. It's the defense that's making them so stellar right now.
Yep, that is true. And like I said, I am speechless right now. I cannot believe what we're seeing right now. I mean, I knew this team had the wherewithal to compete with Ohio State, but I didn't think they were gonna just own them.
And they're doing this on neutral ground. They're doing this at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. I mean, no one can say this is a fluke. This is the Fresno State that if you weren't paying attention to them this entire tournament, well, you better take notice, because right now, this is a upset. This is something that if you are a fan in Columbus right now, if you are an Ohio State fan, you're feeling it at the pit of your stomach. This is not feeling good for you.
No, this is just an absolute domination of all aspects of the field.
Warner's on the field at the 25, 2nd and 7.
Gilliam gets the ball.
Gilliam gets up for about a few yards, make it 4 to be exact. It's now 3rd and 3, very manageable as he gives it back to Gilliam, makes the first down and a little bit more, moves the chains up to the 36.
They're going to keep
back
it
to Donaldson this time, couldn't get out of the gap, and now we got a player, Styles from Ohio State, that's injured.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay. He's grabbing his shoulder blade. Hopefully it's good as Fresno State continues to drive. It's 2nd and 9.
And right now, it goes back to Gilliam. Gilliam moves about 5 yards, actually a couple of yards. That's going to be now 3rd and 6. He's going to need to do something here as he gives it back over to Gilliam. Will get the first down, and now that moves him at the 50-yard line.
They keep the chains moving there at midfield.
And right now, back to Gilliam. Doesn't gain anything. In fact, that's a loss of 3. Makes it 2nd and 13. You have at least 2 in the backfield, as right now, jets it down,
got it,
the catch, and number 84 was able to make the reception. That's a first down as they give it back to Gilliam. Gilliam goes up for about 7 yards. It's now 2nd and 3 at the 27. Down enemy territory, gets it back over to Gilliam, makes enough for the first down, and now we're at the 22 near the red zone. We see 3 potential receivers going back, streaming back.
He's trying to get
it.
No.
Does not, and that's going to be a shutdown. That makes it 2nd and 10. Again,
I see what they're trying to do and trying to keep them off guard.
And right now, Donaldson was able to fight for every single yard, make it 8 of those, makes it now 3rd and 2, gets it back to Donaldson.
Oh, what a spin.
With the spin, was able to get the first down, and now it chomps it down to half. It's now at the 7. Back to Donaldson. That's going to be a gain of 2, actually 1. So that's at the 5-yard line, less than a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. And it looks like it goes right back to Donaldson, up the middle. That's going to be a gain of about 4. Makes it 3rd and goal at the 2. 20 seconds, time ticking, and Donaldson gets shut down. Looks like they're going to go for the 3, and that's an easy ship shot.
Oh, no, it's blocked.
No, it was blocked as we end the 3rd quarter. Kind of a, kind of a limp type of outcome for Fresno State. They weren't able to capitalize on that drive, but that doesn't mean anything when you look at the amount of rushing yards that Fresno State has generated so far in 3 quarters. Again, it's the defense that's been the story for Fresno State. But for Ohio State, they have to have an answer, and they need an answer in the next 5 minutes. Otherwise, they are gone.
That's true, as they must have heard your call as they keep the chains moving.
They get the 10 right there. It's now at the 31-yard line. And for saying he has underperformed this entire game, can he change it this quarter? Gets it out, and that's going to be enough. 86 is going for it, but he's going to be contained near the 45. He's at the 44-yard line. They are at the 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Saying is going to give it to number 25, finds the open lane, gets the first down, and will be contained. That was a gain of 12, now at the 30-yard line.
They're moving the ball. Saying gets a block, and he goes
Couldn't really
nowhere.
make much out of the line of scrimmage. He gains nothing. Now it's 2nd and 10 with 3:45 remaining, still at the 30.
They're running out of time. They got to make a move, and they got to score quickly now. They want to
Their
have
conservative, the way that they're being so conservative right now, this is not going to get them anywhere. They have to get aggressive now. And they're trying to do it up the field as 86 gets it, the tight end, and that's going to be another first down. It's now 1st and 10 at the 11. The tight end number 86 has been moving down the field in this particular drive, but they got to do something quickly. They need to move a lot faster. There is a championship on the line. And right now, with the clock still ticking, Saying gets the snap out, gets a screen off to 25.
Nowhere.
But that's just a loss of 3. They're now at the 14. Again, they're about to hit the 3-minute mark right there. And right now, it looks like Fresno State's trying to set up the mismatch. And Saying is still looking. He's going to have to go for it. He's going to take it. And he's going to take it for about a yard. So now it's 3rd and 9. And again, the time is ticking. They do not have time to burn the clock like this. Saying finally gets the snap and waiting in the pocket. He is moving out of the pocket. He's just going to go for it.
And he does.
And that's an Ohio State touchdown by Saying.
It may be too little too late, but at least they get some points more on the board.
It's now going to be a 2-possession lead for Fresno State. An 8-play, 81-yard drive. Took near half the time, but that onside kick was not successful, giving Fresno State excellent field position. They're near the 40, and right now,
what the hell is Warner doing?
What the hell was he thinking? He is not a mobile quarterback. Don't try to be that way.
But it kind of worked out because it caused Ohio State to use a timeout.
I guess, but you burned 9 yards in the process. And Donaldson, he couldn't do much out of that, so that's also another loss.
Yeah, but
and
then
second
again,
timeout used. Now it's 3rd and 21. They're going to have to throw deep. Let's see if Warner can throw it deep when it matters. It will, and that's going to be a first down.
Hey, there's a method to the madness. It caused them to use up all their timeouts.
And he was able to make up all that lost yardage. Now with a new set of downs, number 33, Gilliam, is able to move it down for about a yard, maybe 2. It's now 2nd and 8, 24 yards away for another touchdown. And now we see a timeout.
They don't really need a touchdown. They can just kill the clock and settle for a field goal and call it a day.
Sorry, that was a 2-minute warning. Ohio State has no timeouts. So it's all Fresno State as Donaldson is working his way down the field.
And that's going to do it. They may never see the ball again.
I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that's going to be the case. I don't think Ohio State is getting the ball back. With good, effective time management, first off, we're going to see another 6 being given to Fresno State if they can try to get it done there. A gain of 1. Gets it back to Donaldson. 92 already ahead of him. Only a gain of 1. So they're now at the 3.
No hurry.
3rd and goal at the 3, less than a minute to go. Gets it again to Donaldson.
And that's going to do it.
That's the dagger for the Bulldogs. They place the final dagger to Ohio State's run for a national championship because I think it's very safe to say it's all over.
Donaldson may have just helped Fresno State punch their ticket to the national championship with that touchdown run.
And now it is 35-14.
And that's going to do it, folks. Fresno State is
heading to another national. They're heading to their first national championship. I mean, even if Ohio State with the ball with only a minute and 6 seconds, there's nothing they can do.
And he gets sacked again.
But at least he gets the ball out. But does that really even matter anymore? I mean, at this point, they're going down to the final minute of this game. saying gets it off the screen to number 1, that's going to be a first down, but the clock is just going to continue to run.
No, he got out of bounds.
Oh, he did? Well, then the clock stops at 57.
No, did it?
That's what I'm saying. They needed all people on the field.
They spike it.
And logically so. They need to develop this drive here. But again, does it even matter at this point?
No, it doesn't.
Playing for pride really doesn't matter at this point. They got 14 up on Fresno State, but definitely wasn't enough.
And the tackle's inbounds. The
number 10 was not stopping, regardless if they're up by 3 possessions. It's 3rd and 4, 40 seconds left. Saying, looking down the field, gets it to number 4, and number 4 is going to take it for a touchdown, but I don't think it's even going to matter anymore. It just winds the game down to a 2-possession lead for Fresno State with 30 seconds left.
And all Fresno State has to do is just take a knee, and that's going to do it.
And rightfully so. With the last onside kick, they are able to recover it. Number 11 is going to stop at the 35.
And they take a knee, and that's it.
Fresno State is going to the national championship of the college football tournament.
They win their first Cotton Bowl win, beating and upsetting the favorite Ohio State 35-2.
They have taken down a giant. If you've heard me say, well, what was the biggest test of Fresno State's run for a national championship? It was this game, and they passed with flying colors. Congratulations to Fresno State. Congratulations to Warner. Congratulations to Donaldson. But more so, congratulations to the defense, because it was the Fresno State's defense that got them to this position where they're going for a national championship. It behooves us now to have an extra time.
Yes, we're not going to take too much of your time, folks, but we just want to get a quick synopsis of what we just seen here.
We have seen history. That's the first thing we have to say.
Before we get to that.
But wait. I'm sorry. Let me stop.
Okay.
I want to first start by apologizing to that other guy.
Apologize to me for what?
Look, you've called me out for a few weeks about how much
I see what it's doing.
underplayed Fresno State's run here at the CFT. And I'm going to admit that, this wasn't a Fresno State team that I thought would have any chance in the world of beating an Ohio State, let alone making it into the national playoffs. And they've proven me wrong game after game. And I think that this Ohio State game, I'm going to give them their flowers. I think that Fresno State has checked off all the boxes so far of what a national championship team could look like. So I'm going to say you knew what you were talking about when you were thinking about looking at Fresno State as a potential upset going into this playoff, and the evidence was right there tonight. So I give you my respect. If I had a hat, the tip of the hat goes off to you.
Before I continue, I just want to say to Ohio State, I don't know what happened to you guys today. You guys were the perennial favorite to make it to the national championship, and honestly, you shit the bed. The lights are too bright for you.
Big time.
And you guys couldn't get nothing going. And
I would think that a team that would be used to playing in venues like this, in situations where a championship is on the line as former champions outside of the CFT, that this should have been a routine, okay, we're just going to get it done the way we normally do. Absolutely the opposite.
Yeah, and the fact that you guys couldn't get anything going until garbage time.
Like that matters.
You guys just, I don't know if you didn't take Fresno State seriously or you was looking past them or whatever the case may be. Y'all going home. So,
I mean, with that being said, I have one other question that I want to post out here. In fact, there's a few questions because I was thinking to myself, if Fresno State was to pull these upsets, there are immediate things that we need to resolve. Well, not immediately, but things that we should talk about quickly. Number one, now that they are going to a national championship, what does this win in particular mean for the program?
Oh, this is monumental. This is historic. If we look at what they've been through in the first inaugural tournament and look at where they're at now, it's apples and oranges. It's night and day. They used this program used the momentum of the disappointment they had from the inaugural tournament and use that as a chip on their shoulder to prove to everyone in the tournament that they're not to be fucked with.
Yeah.
And they've proven that. They have shown us that they're for real. They showed us they're legit. All those blowout wins were statements. They wasn't just blowouts just for the sake of blow. They were statements. They were showing teams that we are not to be fucked with.
Oof.
And outside of those two hiccups with SMU and BYU,
Yeah.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I mean, they took care of business. Yes, they should have lost that game to SMU. Yes, they should have never lost that game to BYU. But if I tell you now, if Gillian didn't get hurt, they would have been 5-1 instead of 5-2. And
You mean 6-0 instead of 5-1?
well, yeah. Sorry. At the end of the day, they came into the playoffs with a chip on their shoulder, and they exercised their demons. But as Kobe Bryant once said, the job's not finished.
In fact, as we look at this on a more grand, larger scheme of things, how does this type of win impact the conference itself, the Mountain West,
this
and
shows-
even the group of five moving forward in this
That's
tournament?
an excellent thing. You know what? This shows the group of 5 schools that this could be you.
Yeah.
This shows that, look, let's call it what it is. This tournament is for everybody.
It is.
It's not just for the SEC teams. It's not just for the Big Tens. Not for the Big 12s. It's not for the
For
Pac-
every Ohio State, there's going to be a Bowling Green State. They exist. They're in the tournament. They coexist.
Yeah, so like I
I'm
said,
not saying one is better than the other, although obviously one is better than the other.
it's apples and grapes. But
Still fruit.
yeah. Well, I don't eat apples, I eat grapes, so.
Fair enough.
What I'm saying is, this shows that if you work hard enough and your team is disciplined enough, and if everyone's on the same page, this could be you.
And you know what's interesting? We've seen programs like this in the past have runs like this.
Yes.
Look at Central Florida. Central Florida made it to a championship game.
And they went to semifinals.
I mean,
back-to-back tournaments.
We need to get comfortable with the reality that the group of 5 is not a pushover. The group of 5 can be just as threatening as the power conferences. In fact, my next question is, what does this mean for a power conference like the Big Ten to lose to a mid-major like a team from the Mountain West?
I mean, this tournament has been dominated by the big programs, the big conferences. So to see a small conference once again make it to the championship game, it shows that, like I said, it's no shirt off the back. It doesn't mean that they're gonna take a down a peg or two. It's just sometimes when a team gets hot, they're the better team. Yeah. And we haven't really seen much of Ohio State. Yeah, they were undefeated, but Fresno State had something to prove. And
let's not scoff at Ohio State's wins, to be honest with you, because look, if you look at the prelims, my opinion, their biggest win outside of Notre Dame, which should have been in the playoffs, I would argue is Arizona State. They beat them in the prelims. They beat them again in the national quarterfinals. And I mean, you do have Oregon State, which you were like, whatever, they shouldn't even exist. But they also beat a pretty decent Penn State. So Ohio State had like this, well, we beat the teams that we're supposed to beat, but we also beat some teams that we shouldn't scoff at. And then here comes Fresno State saying, well, you didn't beat us. You didn't face us. Do what you got to do here.
Well, I think it's a matter of now that the stage is set, they just got to wait to see who they're going to play outside of Indiana and Texas. And now they have time to prepare. They have time to rest. They have been running Russia. Now they got about a week to prepare before they get to the championship game. And then once again, I am proud of this team. If anyone has been following this channel and has been following this tournament for the last 3 tournaments, you know how much I despise this damn team.
Not only that, you should have seen what I've done in the past about how bad they've played and how much I've gone on their asses.
To see where they've been and to see where they are now, you can't help but be happy for this team. You can't help to be proud of them. And for those naysayers, for those people who've said they don't belong here or when they saw that Fresno State made the tournament, oh wow, they beat a weak West.
So are you basically talking about us in round one? Yeah, that was us.
Yeah,
that was us.
And not only just for us, not just for us alone, but to anyone that was saying, "Oh God, they're hack. How did they make it this time?" Last time they were here, everybody was going off their past atrocities, which understandably so because that's all you can go on.
That's the evidence you have. Yeah.
So you got to go what you go on. But they proven that we're not that team.
Right.
That team walked so we could run.
That's right.
And running they did.
I mean, that's really Fresno State in a nutshell. They are the most dominant rushing team.
They're I can't believe it's going to sound like an oxymoron, but they're the best one-dimensional team in this tournament because if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's literally the mantra of Fresno State.
If you can't stop this shit, why should we keep not doing it? You ain't stopping it.
Well, all we can say is, again, congratulations to the Bulldogs of Fresno State University. They are the first of our 2 national finalists. They'll be playing in Miami as they await the winner of our second semifinal game, which will be, you guessed it, Indiana at Texas. Oh, actually, it's Indiana versus Texas. They'll be playing in Pasadena, California at the Rose Bowl.
Right.
I mean, what are your thoughts about this briefly before we go?
My final thoughts is Texas needs to exercise their demons after that heartbreaker they had last year. If they want to get over that hump, they got to beat Indiana, and if they got to come correct, and if they don't come correct, it's going to be another heartbreaking loss.
And for Indiana, it's pretty twofold here. One, Mendoza, you got to be a bit more dynamic on your passing game. Like, we know how much of a threat you can be. We've seen games where you're throwing for over 250 yards for at least 2 to 3 touchdowns. Are we going to see that Mendoza, or will the running game have to step in, right? Will Hemby have to serve as the hero to try to take the team back offensively, back to the motherland, which is another national championship appearance? And that's just on the offensive side. On the defensive side, can Indiana continue to be that threat on defense where, again, this is a team that's only allowing at about 7 to 8 points a game going into the playoffs and probably a little bit less in the preliminary games? Can the defense be as strong as we know it to be? If that's the case, Texas doesn't even have a chance.
Well, folks, we're going to find out. We got 1 game left before the national championship, but we know Fresno State's going to be there. They just got to find out who their opponent is.
Again,
thank you.
Congratulations, Fresno State.
Yes. Thank you once again for joining us for another edition of the CFT Playoffs live here on BVG Studios. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. Thank you for watching again. I am the other guy alongside Brownsville Gamer.
And again, a reminder that right after the national semifinal, we'll talk about our 2 finalists. Presumably, it could be Indiana or it could be Texas. Regardless, stay tuned to watch the national championship of the 26th college football, the CFT 2026 tournament. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And again, congratulations to Fresno State. You're going to the national championship.
Yes, happy holidays, folks.
And Merry Christmas if you celebrate it.
Peace.